Hi, I'm Eric Strauss. I'm a partner at the law firm of Gross McGinley in Allentown, Pennsylvania. I'm a partner in the estate's Wills and Trusts group. And if you found this video, you're probably interested in meeting with an attorney to discuss your estate plan. And I commend you for doing that. And it's interesting, a lot of people say, I can just do my will online. I can have AI do my will. And they ask me, would that create a valid will? And they're surprised when I answer, yeah, it might. Will it do what you think it's going to do is an entirely different question. So what a lawyer brings to the process is their experience, their knowledge of property law here in Pennsylvania, and helps a client come up with an estate plan that works across the board. What many people learn is that their estate plan and documents, their will, their trust, their powers of attorney, don't exist in a vacuum. They exist in the context of how you own your assets, what your individual family circumstances are. And lawyers are trained to extract that information from you, and that's what we bring to the process. I've been practicing trust and estate law for over 35 years, and one thing lawyers have, we all learn from our own mistakes. Lawyers have the benefit of learning from other people's mistakes, and I've met with a lot of people and helped people solve a lot of problems. And with estate planning, we're trying to avoid those problems before they become problems. So the way to prepare for a meeting with an estate planning attorney, I always say, I want an apt client, APT, aware, prepared, and thoughtful. Whether a lawyer bills on a project basis or an hourly basis, I do a little bit of both, you're paying a lawyer for their time, and you want to use your time and their time efficiently. So often we use an opening like a questionnaire, where we will look for information that helps us help you. A questionnaire is typically going to ask you actually some of your most private, sensitive information you need to trust us with, and we do that for a variety of reasons. I want to know the details of your family. I want to know how old your kids are if you have children. If you're in a second marriage in a blended family, those are very unique situations. If you're a family business owner, I need to know the details of the family business. I need to know if it's a corporation or an LLC. Is there an owner's agreement that sets forth the rights of the different owners of the business? In terms of your assets, I want to know if there's an account titled in your name alone that's going to be controlled by your will. Or is it an account like an individual retirement account or a 401k plan that's going to be controlled by the beneficiary designation form associated with that specific asset? These are things that even very intelligent, very sophisticated clients sometimes completely overlook. The other thing the questionnaire is going to do, it's going to prove to anyone who would later question a will that you knew who your family was, what you wanted to do with your assets. It's going to be evidence that you approached the process thoughtfully and with a full awareness of what you were doing, who your loved ones are. Some people have very limited families or no family at all. They express intentions to benefit their favorite charitable organizations, more of a legacy type estate plan. Those are all things we can help you with. In terms of unique assets, a family-owned business is a great example. If I own shares of stock in a publicly traded company and I want to sell them, all I have to do is call my stockbroker and place the sale order. If I own a closely held business, my interest in that business is controlled by an owner's agreement, or it should be. Many times business owners are very quick to set their businesses up. They have a great business model, a great idea, investors, an opportunity, and they're up and running, and no one really thinks about the details of what happens when that business owner dies. If I own a business, a closely held company with different owners, there often is an agreement that restricts my rights to freely sell my business interests when I die. So those are things that as an estate planning attorney, I need to know. I've had clients with very successful, closely held businesses that really ignored what rights they had to control their interest when they died. And that's not a surprise you want to leave your family with. Second marriage situations provide another example of ways that lawyers can share their experience with you and help protect not only a second spouse, but also children from a prior marriage. Another thing estate planning lawyers are interested in is tax efficiency. I always want to have a sense of the general net value of a client's estate. To me, there's a big difference if a client has a $1 million property that they bought for $1 million versus a $1 million property that they bought for $10,000 or that they inherited with a very low cost basis. Those are things that we like to know ahead of time so that we can help clients plan for a better tax result, both income tax and estate and inheritance tax where those apply. With specialized assets, we don't always just look at how to save tax, we look at where the source of tax is, and this becomes important with specialized assets like vacation homes, like closely held business interests, farms. A lot of times, clients want to preserve these assets, and the question becomes, if there are final expenses, if there are death taxes, where does the cash come from? We sometimes come up with life insurance strategies or other planning techniques to help preserve an asset while still meeting the obligations that a person's estate would have to satisfy. Once you gather that information and you're ready to talk to an attorney, what do you expect at the first meeting? At the first meeting, it's really a meet and greet. I want to introduce myself. I want to know about you. We discuss this information. We discuss what your goals are. I describe the basic documents. For many people, basic wills and powers of attorney are all they need. As an attorney, I think all estate planning attorneys bring value to the experience. We all have things that we know how to do, things that we're good at doing. If I went to my doctor and said, "Doctor, I need surgery today," and they said, "Well, I want to do an x-ray. I want to run some blood." Nope, I want the surgery. My doctor's not going to operate on me that day. That's the approach I take. I want to know about a client before I take steps to try to help them. I don't fix my own car. I don't do my own dental work. We all have things we know how to do. And as a lawyer, my job is to bring value to what you're doing to put your estate planning together. Hopefully you've enjoyed this. If you have any other questions about putting your estate planning together, feel free to reach out to myself or any other member of our Wills, Trust, and Estates group here at Gross McGinley.